Where did we leave off? Oh, that's nice. Children getting exercise. Um, didn't get a straight answer on this. Uh, I mean, fool me once, but come on. Uh, yeah, right? And guess what? So, and the most exciting thing that actually never happens. Now, there is quite a lot to go over, and our family tree does span many branches that I will not be naming every single one. But what we will be going over is the where, why, who, and what. That is where we came from, why we left there, who we are focusing on that actually went to the United States, and what they chose to do when they got there. We are from Italy, but we are also from Scotland and Wales. We don't have as many records on people from those places, but they were the first ones to actually make it to Pennsylvania before our Italian ancestors did. So, what was it like living in these places? Well, Wales, United Kingdom was pretty, gloomy. It's going to be mostly steelwork, ironwork, mining. Lanark, Scotland was a bit more pastoral. It's going to be a lot more about cotton milling. San Piernichetto was more about agricultural farming. A lot of landless farmers who would be brought in to work other landowners' farms. So we can't say for certain who held what jobs back in the motherlands. What we do have is records of James Cumming, our Scottish ancestor, having worked in the mines with his brother at 16 and 13 years old. So, what's the matter? Why the rush to Pennsylvania? Aren't you having fun down in the mines, Sonny? Well, it seems like sometime around the Industrial Revolution, almost everyone in Europe got antsy to get to the United States. If job opportunity wasn't what was calling them, then obviously hunger was going to push them there. The tensions for World War I were already heating up, and food prices with them, and people were starving. We're actually really fortunate to have a collection of letters saved by Aunt Frances. In one of those letters, she describes during World War I how expensive flour and necessities have gotten, and how she, quote, sees 17-year-olds being made into soldiers every day. Here's the part that really strikes me about our Scottish and Welsh immigration story. I would like you to imagine you are a 10 to 13-year-old Welsh girl who just hit puberty. Your parents then pick you up and move you across the Atlantic on a 2-month ship ride to bumfuck Pennsylvania, where you know nobody. Your dad then dies within a handful of years of you guys arriving, and you then are married off 2 years after that, and you're only 16. Time to start making babies. In fact, make 7 babies and then die when the youngest is 3 years old. And then that baby will grow up and also be a 16-year-old pregnant bride. Welcome to the US. While our Welsh and Scottish side was busy giving us our generational trauma that I still suffer from today, our Italian side was actually just gearing up to come on over. Our Italian story starts with Antonina and Antonino, who are married in San Piernichetto and give birth to their firstborn son, Joseph, who we will be following. They then proceed to hop on a ship 3 years later with their little boy to Pennsylvania. Though they did not go alone, Antonino's brother Salvatore actually journeyed with them, and his wife as well. Even though our Italian ancestors touched down in the United States in 1891, they really didn't make up their mind if they wanted to stay, traveling back and forth between Sicily and the United States for the next couple 8 years, even having kids still back in Sicily and in Pennsylvania until 1899, when they actually put in an intent to naturalize with the United States. And so, just like that, the Spamenis became the Spermalis, became the Spinellis. The Spinellis opened a grocery store. They sold pastas and macaronis, all the ingredients all the other Italian immigrants in town needed to survive. Meanwhile, Salvatore was on a much different journey than his brother. In 1907, there was an attempted bombing on his house. Now, luckily, there was an anonymous tip, so police were ready and waiting when the mob member came to set up the bomb under his basement. They caught him in time and proceeded to have a shootout in front of Salvatore's house in the middle of the night. They caught the kid, who ended up being literally a teenager, and was doing it because they said, "You either do this for the mob or we kill you." It's not really clear if Salvatore was with the mob or related to the mob in some way. Uh, why he was targeted, we're not sure. All we know is this is the kind of man that slept with the gun next to his pillow and the rosary as well. Oh, hey, remember Joseph? That toddler that went with us overseas from Italy? He's all grown up now, 24 years old to be exact, and ready to take on the world. And by take on the world, I mean marry a 16-year-old child. It's a nice day for a white wedding. Listen, I didn't know Joe. I would like to think that in this rush to marriage, because she was a pregnant teenager, maybe there was a real love behind it. I hope. I hope. Either way, Joseph ended up becoming a barber while his siblings either took jobs in the mines or as mechanics. And Margaret had six lovely kids of her own. Unfortunately, tuberculosis was widespread in the early 1900s, and Joseph didn't just lose a sister, but Margaret also lost her daughter, Rosemary, and then lost her own life as well. As dark as this moment may be, this was not the end for the Spinellis. The family ended up splitting off and each made their own way in life. The eldest, Tony, dedicated himself to higher learning and went on to graduate from university as the first of family to go to college. He went on to become a radio announcer for WIKK, where he fell in love with the station's secretary, Joyce. Meanwhile, Earl and Joe made their way to California. There, Earl quickly got married and had a family, whereas Joe decided to take a more business route and ended up helping create the Thumbs Islands in Long Beach, as well as their iconic yellow sodium lights, which may no longer be around, but still made for some iconic photographs back in the 70s and 80s. For Anne and Kathleen, Pennsylvania was home. For Anne, it was for life. For Kathleen, it was until she met Arthur, and then she went on to have a beautiful family in California as well. Gonna get through it this time without crying. I just wanted to do all of this to say no one should be forgotten. Everyone is important. And I think we all need to take a glimpse back to understand who we are now and not to make the same mistakes, but also to understand ourselves because we're all important and how we interact with each other is even more important. We need to show each other love, and it starts with remembering each other. I love you, Nana. I love you, Mom. I love everyone there. Tried really hard not to cry. My makeup stayed on. Thank you. I'm going to bed. Oh, these hurt so bad. These hurt so bad. They're not even, they're clip ons. I mean, just stab yourself. It's easier. God damn.